Om Shanti. Today Baba in the Murli says many things, but I will begin with something very interesting. Baba today says, the Father says, also study a worldly education. You may do your business, etc., for the livelihood of your bodies. But simply remember me, and also remember the cycle. You mustn't forget this. You understand, it is now the end of your 84 births. The Father explains, remember me and you will become Sato Pradhan from Tamo Pradhan. Now I find this very interesting because yesterday there were many Baba's new children coming, and when I was talking to them, this thing about Gita mentioning Karam Yoga. So, whenever you tell somebody that you take the course or you meditate or you listen to the Murli, sometimes souls say this interesting thing that, my husband believes in Karam Yoga. So that's why he doesn't want to be a meditator. So I asked one particular soul, so Karam Yoga means Karam plus Yoga. How do you become a Karam Yogi without Yoga? So they said, no, they are a Karam Yogi means they have Yoga with the Karam. So I said, no, that's not a Karam Yogi. Karam Yogi means you are a yogi in action. You are a yogi while doing your karma. It's not like you are a yogi with the karma. That means you have your yoga with the karma. No. Yoga is always with Baba. Because yoga is your connection with the one who is at the highest frequency, who is the highest consciousness. And when you are in communion with the highest of high, then your consciousness is very elevated. And then the work you do gives happiness instead of creating sorrow and stress and competition and jealousy. It creates a vibration of happiness, and it creates a vibration where everyone feels benefited and respected. And the work you do also contributes to your karmic account in a positive way. So Baba says that I do not forbid you from studying if you are a student. So if you are a student in the Lokik world, study your study. There is no problem with that. Baba says if you are a businessman, do your business. And obviously, if you have to take care of the body, you need a livelihood for that. So Baba says, take care of the means of your livelihood. Take care of your Lokik study. But what Baba says is, pay very good attention to be in Baba's remembrance while you do all of that. And why? Because Karam without yoga is not an ideal situation. And yoga without karam is also not an ideal situation. Yes, let's understand both these things. If I am doing karma without Baba's remembrance, then what kind of karma am I doing? I am doing it in body consciousness. Yes. And when I am doing karma in body consciousness, through my consciousness, through my attitude, through my thoughts, through my words, what am I creating? I am creating sorrow. Yes, because When you are doing anything these days, how do you do it? If somebody is sitting and you are doing, you're not thinking about the work you are doing. You are thinking about the one that is sitting and you are working. And then you are creating these thoughts of comparison and complaint. And those thoughts, those vibrations are becoming part of the action you're doing. And the action is only as powerful as the doer of the action. So then your action doesn't have power. And then the destiny that that action creates is not a favorable destiny. Yes, so Baba says that you have to take very good care that whatever you do, if you're studying, don't study with fear, don't study with doubt, don't study with, ambition. Study in a state of peace and contentment and in the state that I am. And then you will be successful in your Lokik study. If you are doing your work, you are doing your business, do not only remember that Baba, the ocean of peace, love and purity is with you, but also keep Baba, the ocean of knowledge with you. Because when you are conducting your business, it is very important that you conduct it in a fair manner. And if you don't keep the knowledge in your buddhi, then you will conduct it under the sway of the five vices. And when you are doing things under the sway of the five vices, then you will be creating a negative karmic account while you do all of that. And the explanation or the proof that whatever Baba is saying is absolutely true is that you see all around in the world, people are doing karma all day. Yes, even if somebody is not doing anything physically, they are just sitting and thinking. That's also karma. So if you see in the whole world, nobody is not thinking, not speaking, not acting. Everybody is doing something or the other all day. But why is the negativity or the feeling that this is Kalyug increasing day by day? Because we are not doing the right karma. We are not doing karma in the right consciousness. It's not like we are not doing karma. We are doing. We are all karam yogis very proudly. And our yoga is with our karma. And that's why the total negativity, whether it be stress, whether it be discontentment in the family, whether it be discontentment in the workplace, everything is increasing because we are not understanding the true meaning of a Karam Yogi. And a Karam Yogi means one that does karma in soul consciousness and in a knowledgeful, pure, peaceful, powerful state. And that can only be achieved when you are in remembrance of Baba. So this is a Karam Yogi. And Baba says another thing which I was also talking about in the meditation. So, there is this balance between past, present and future. So when somebody is doing karma in the present, mostly they get caught up in two things. One, they do not understand why there are obstacles despite they doing their best. And then they get caught up in the why and what and how. And then they stop doing their karma accurately. Yes, I will give you one example. There was this brother and he came to the center and he was doing the course. And during the course he told me, Didi, I had a friend and he was not intelligent, he was not well off, he didn't have the resources to continue higher studies. I helped him in all these three areas. I helped him with finance, I helped him with studies, I helped him with the know-how also because my parents were well off. But I don't know what, Didi. He studied one page and he got it. I studied the whole day, I didn't get it. And then today he's in a good position. I'm not in such a good position. But Didi, I have greater ability, to understand things. He has greater ability to remember things. I don't remember things very well. I don't have the capability to express it as well as him. So I said, so he said, Didi, he became successful because of that. And I became a failure because of that. And because of this difference, today I hate my life. And I have great discontentment with my life today. So I told that brother, okay, let me just retell your story. So he said, okay, Didi. So I said, so when you started, he had greater ability of expression and better memory than you. And you had all the other stuff, yes? So he said, yes. And then as you moved along, you started comparing yourself so much with him that you stopped using what you had. And he said, now that you're saying it, yes. And I said, all your thoughts started being about how he is getting the advantage of how he is, but you're not getting the advantage of that what you are. And then you started applying who you are in practical life. So you had many abilities. You had the ability to analyze, understand. You had the resources, but you started cursing all of them. You never said, I'm so fortunate, I have these strengths. You said, he is so fortunate, he has those strengths. You started looking at his strengths and empowering his strengths. And you started looking at your weaknesses and empowering your weaknesses. And your weaknesses started growing. So neither God did anything to you, nor he did anything to you. You did it to yourself. And you're miserable because of yourself. So he said, Didi, now you're making me more miserable by telling me I'm miserable because of myself. So I said, no, I'm giving you very good news. Because if you're miserable because of yourself, you have the power to not be miserable anymore. And that's a very big power to have. Because if you think you are miserable because of somebody, then you will always be miserable because you think you're miserable because of them. And until they do something about it, it doesn't change. But now you have the power to change it. And now he has worked on it and he has reached a better place. Yes, it's just been some time. So he's in a better place right now. And so when you are doing karma in the present, when you don't understand, so when you don't keep the ocean of knowledge, Baba, with you, then you get caught up in these past karmic accounts that come for settlement. Yes, so if you have a weakness, what do you have to do about it? You have to change it into your strength. And that requires some labor, yes, some work that requires. And if you are in love with Baba, you can put in that labor of love very well. It's not difficult. But then if you get caught up and keep asking why this and why that, then you lose that opportunity to fill in that gap that weakness is bringing. So this is one thing that happens when we are doing karma. Another thing that happens, which is even more important, is you lose sight that you are also creating your destiny through your present karma. Yes, you forget that what you're doing in the present will also create the foundation on which you will do something in the future. Yes, If you just pluck mangoes and don't plant trees, then in the present you will have many mangoes, but in the future no mangoes. So you have to eat mangoes and plant trees. That's how it goes. Now Baba also says that whenever you are doing some karma, remember that in order to do any karma well, you need strength of the soul, you need strength of the body, you need a peaceful mind, and you need good relationships around you. Yes, and also money which is pure. Yes, only pure money will come to your rescue in time of need. Know this. You might have a lot of money, but that won't come to your rescue. What will come to your rescue is what you earned in purity. So Baba says, sometimes, when we are working in the present, people don't take care of health. And then tomorrow they are bedridden, no work, no money. Yes. Then sometimes they don't take care of their mind. They don't nurture their mind with good thoughts, with peaceful or productive or creative thoughts. And all they create are thoughts of stress and anger and worry. And then their mind is no more capable of thinking with clarity or making good decisions in the future. So Baba says this is what happens when you don't take into account sustainability. So sustainability is when you do action in the present while taking care of the future. So Baba says, and the most important thing is karma that is pure. So taking care of your spiritual well-being, doing everything in a knowledgeful, pure state is very important. Because if you are not taking care of your purity and you're not taking care of your spiritual stage, then whatever you are doing will be a burden tomorrow. You are raising children without purity, those children will be a liability tomorrow. You are earning money without purity, that money will put you in jail tomorrow. So this is how it goes. You have to be very knowledgeful, very pure, very peaceful, and very full of power. So you will face many challenges while doing karma in the present. But if you deal with them with the power to tolerate, with the power to face, power to discern and decide, power to pack up and become a point in 1 second, if you don't do all of this, then tomorrow your karma that you are doing now will put you into trouble. And then that karma that you are doing in the present, which will put you into trouble tomorrow, will have to be taken care of. And Baba says then you will spend a lot of your energy settling that account that you created today. So this is something that Baba makes us aware of today. Yes. Now, so these are the two things. One is taking the past into consideration, not asking why, when, what, and then taking the future into consideration while doing present karma. And then Baba also talks about, so this is about doing karma without yoga. Now doing yoga without karma. Okay, can you just do yoga without karma? Then if you are not doing any seva, so if you're not doing any seva, whether it is physical seva, whether it is spiritual seva, if there is no seva, even if you are going to work, that's physical seva. You're doing something to sustain your body. And if you're doing spiritual seva, that's another story. That's earning you future benefit also. But Baba says, if you're not doing anything to earn present income, then what will happen is you have a body to keep alive, you have a body to clothe and feed, And if you don't earn your own bread, then you will beg and borrow. And if you do that, then that bread will come from sources which are impure. And then that will add to your karmic burden. So this is what Baba tells about sannyasis. So Baba says sannyasis practice purity, but then they take their sustenance from grihasthis. Yes, they go and beg for alms, and then those grihasthis, they don't give the education of purity to those grihasthis. Yes, those grihasthis are going about their life in the same impure fashion like they do. And then when they eat the food prepared by them, or they are sustained by the money earned by impure means, then these sannyasis create a negative karmic account by doing that. And this is why they take birth in an impure grihasth next birth. And since they have earned this, sanskar of being a sannyasi, they again leave the household in childhood. And they again go and join their toli of sannyasi. So this keeps going on because they are in a loop. On the one hand, they are creating good karma. On the other hand, there is a karmic burden. So Baba says, this is why Baba teaches us how to be right in the middle, which is you do karma, you take care of the past, future, do karma in a yogi state, in a knowledgeful, pure state, and also not do karma is not a good idea. Okay, so this is something that Baba tells. And today, sometimes children ask that, how do you remember Baba while in action? And Baba gives a very good example today. This is in continuity with the lines I read earlier. So Baba says, you remember your father and also your husband. So Baba says, even if you go to office, even if the child goes to school, do they forget their spouse and parents? Baba says, no, they never forget their spouse and parents. And I remember when I used to go to the school canteen, and if my father had asked me not to eat certain items in that canteen, as soon as I saw those items, I was reminded of my father saying no. And I could see his face in front of me saying, no, you can't eat this. And then even if I was very tempted, I don't know, I somehow felt he's watching me and I can't eat this. If I eat this and go home, I'll get beaten up. So Baba says, you remember your father as a child. You remember your spouse as while you're at work or your business. So Baba says, now I am the husband of all husbands and father of all fathers, and I am also your teacher. I'm everything to you. So Baba says, can't you remember me? I think the question is, how can you forget me? So Baba says, I am the father of fathers, I am the husband of husbands, I am also your teacher. And then Baba says, I give you happiness. Those impure relatives cause you sorrow. So Baba says, I am the one who gives you happiness. How can you forget me? And how can you remember those who cause you sorrow? So Baba says, this is the easiest way to remember Baba. Just remember who you are in relation to him. And also this one thing I want to take up today, which is about, Baba says, it is because of the 5 vices that you experience sorrow. It is because of the 5 vices that you experience sorrow. And the other day I was talking to somebody and I told them desire is the cause of sorrow. And that person says he listens to some guru, and that guru said, desire is not the cause of sorrow. Unfulfilled desire is the cause of sorrow. So I said, no, it's not like that. Desire is the cause of sorrow. You have to understand this very well today. Because when you create a desire, you create the seed, you sow the seed for sorrow. A soul is by design contented. A soul is contented by design. So the original design of the soul is you are contented. And the language of a desire is, I will not be happy until I have this. Yes. And when you fall into this trap, you create this pathway for discontentment. So desire creates this seed for unfulfillment. And the no fulfillment is not outside, it's inside. It's the thought and the feeling you create when you create a desire. So you're just sitting fine, yes, and then you create a thought, I want an ice cream. And then you created that situation inside of you where the ice cream will decide whether you are happy or not. But you are happy, and you gave away your power of happiness to the ice cream by creating this desire. And then you think that it is because you didn't get the ice cream that you are unhappy. But no, you are not unhappy because you didn't get the ice cream. You are unhappy because you created this thought that you can only be happy when you get the ice cream. So it's very, very important that one understands this whole game. It's very important that you understand that it's not unfulfilled desire, it is desire that is the problem. Because if you don't understand that desire is the problem, then you always keep thinking that because my desire is not met, I am unhappy. And then you work in the wrong area. You are striving to fulfill your desires, whereas you should strive to achieve your inner fulfillment. And when you are making an effort in the wrong direction, then that effort never leads to results. Okay, so this is something that I want to discuss today, because just like we talked about desire, there are other vices: lust, ego, anger, attachment, and greed. Now, there was this brother, and he was 42 years of age, and his wife had died. I don't know, some reason, and she died. And when she died, he came to the center and he said, I'm unhappy because my wife died, and I feel this urge for lust, and now I need another, I need to get remarried, and then my quest for lust will be quenched, and then I'll be happy. So I said, were you also unhappy before you got married? So no, I was fine. So I said, so you are not unhappy because your wife died or there is no lust. You are unhappy because you've created this programming that lust is the source of my happiness. So it's not unfulfilled lust, unfulfilled ego, unquenched greed. It's not like that is the cause of sorrow. It is lust, ego, anger, attachment, greed, desire. That's the cause of sorrow. And when we understand this fully and completely, then we will invest our energy in the right direction. We will invest our energy in creating fulfillment inside. Because the more you are running after creating fulfillment outside, fulfillment of lust, ego, anger, attachment, greed, desire, your whole focus is on the external, and you are becoming so extroverted that there is no attention on the inside, and where there is no attention, no energy is flowing. So this is something I want to clarify, because I think this has become a very a fashionable statement today. Desire is not the problem, unfulfilled desire is the problem. No, desire is the problem. We have to get it very, very straight. And then today, Baba says that Baba doesn't take any fees for this study. And do you know that this is the only school where the study is not charged. So there is no charge for this study. The course is free, the class is free. And do you understand that nothing can be done free? So it's not like it doesn't have a cost. It's not like no money is spent. But this education is given free. And why is this education given free? Because Baba says, my children are orphans now. And who will pay for orphans? So Baba says, there is nobody to take care of the orphans. And you see, it's so interesting. You ask your parents, your physical parents, to pay for a spiritual course, they will not do that. You go and ask your parents to pay for a spiritual course, they will not do that. They will pay for your physical needs. Yes, they will pay for Lokik education, they will pay for your clothes, they will pay for everything. But they will not pay for your spiritual education, because the soul doesn't have a parent now. Body has a parent, so the body will be taken care of. The body has a parent, the body will be provided. But the soul is an orphan right now. So Baba says, I am the parent, I become the teacher, I adopt you, I teach you. And then Baba says, I train you to teach others, I train you to take care of others, because this whole task is taken care of by the children's money who understand Baba. So Baba says, those orphans in the world, they don't have anybody who will pay for the spiritual study for them to undertake. When you become powerful through the Father comes, adopts, teaches, he makes us competent enough. He fills our mind, body and wealth with the power of purity, so that our pure mind, body and wealth can be used in this task. And Baba tells very sweetly, Baba gives a very nice teaching today. Baba says, not everyone has the same understanding. No two can have the same understanding. No two can have the same features. Therefore, you children now have to belong to the Father. He is the Father, the teacher, and also the Satguru. You know that he doesn't take any fees. You receive the kingdom for 21 births without spending even as much as a shell. You used to give something in the name of God on the path of devotion, and you receive the return of it in your next birth. And in this Bhakti Marg also, we talk about Sudama and his handful of rice. And it is very interesting that Sudama had the right to Krishna's company and friendship, always. Yes, Sudama had the right to Sri Krishna's company and Sri Krishna's friendship, always, since childhood. So God was depicted as Sri Krishna, and God did not withdraw the right to his company or friendship from Sudama. But it is also interesting that Sudama continued to be a pauper despite being Sri Krishna's friend. Yes, he stayed a beggar. So he had a right to happiness, he enjoyed his company, friendship, everything. But he remained a pauper. And then When Sri Sudama visited Sri Krishna in his palace, then he took a handful of rice for Sri Krishna. And when he gave that, in exchange he received kingdom. He received a palace. So Baba says, I do not deny the right to study to anybody. That is free. I am the ocean of peace, ocean of knowledge, ocean of purity. You are my children. Who will give you this if I don't? And if I charge for it, it doesn't make sense. So I give it to you for free. But if you want to get physical things, then you have to exchange. Yes, you want health, you have to exchange your physical energy. Put it in the yajna. Invest it to seva. You get health. You want peace of mind? Put your mind into seva. Serve with your mind. You want wealth? Put your wealth into the yajna. Do spiritual seva from it. And when you do that, it multiplies. So you want your physical things to multiply, you exchange it. Baba's knowledge, company, love is free. That Baba doesn't withdraw from anybody. But you want to earn, you have to exchange. So Baba gives this very beautiful law, and Baba says, he doesn't take any fees. Baba says, you used to give something in the name of God on the path of devotion, and you receive the return of it in your next birth. I have now come, and I am directly making Bharat into heaven. All the expenses for that are paid for by the children. Why the children? Because everyone else is an orphan. So Baba says, and to create a pure world, you have to invest the pure body, mind and wealth. So Baba purifies what it takes, Baba creates what it takes to create a pure world by purifying what children have. So Baba says, he only tells his children to spend. He caught hold of this Brahma very well to pay for all the expenses. Baba says, I caught hold of Brahma to take care of all the expenses. He entered him and made him do everything. He quickly surrendered himself, and Brahma Baba also quickly surrendered. He gave away everything he had. Just focus on this word, everything. Brahma Baba gave away everything he had. Baba said, become a beggar and I will make you into a prince like this one. He showed the picture of Sri Narayan, told Brahma Baba, become a beggar, I'll make you this. Then he granted him a vision. He showed, this is your future stage. This is how you look in the future. So he then thought, then Brahma Baba thought, what will I do with all of this? Destruction has to take place. Baba said, Shiv Baba said, don't close your fist like a monkey. Open it. The monkey's fist is smaller than this. And if he closes it, it's not going to do it any good. So Baba says, whatever you have is very less. If you don't exchange it, you will be losing out on a lot. Baba says, open it. Then he quickly opened it. How else could the expenses for all of these children have been paid? You and I wouldn't be sitting here without Brahma Baba doing what he did. The children became the emperors and the ancestor became the advisor. So Baba says, in Hindi this is called Bachchu Badshah Piru Wazir. So Baba says, the children, we children became the emperors. Brahma Baba also became the emperor. And the ancestor became the advisor. So Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba became the advisors for us. One telling what to do, one showing what to do. And if we really follow what he did, we are going to become the emperors like he became by following the advice of Shiv Baba. This means that he caught hold of one to provide the money. A bhatti had to be created for you children. A school was also opened. Baba says, you are now clever and you also teach others. Baba said, do you understand what Brahma Baba did to create the fortune? And if you understand, follow in his footsteps. Okay? Om Shanti. Today also Baba talks about this thing called wasting your time and thought. And he says, save your time and thought and accumulate. And I want you to think about this whole day. Where do you waste your time and thought? And how will your accumulated time and thought serve you? So how will you accumulate it, not waste it? And then what is the power of accumulated time and thought? Just churn over it today.